So we got some news floating around out there regarding Johnny Depp's potential return to the Pirates franchise.
Okay. So we go from him being fired to him basically saying good riddance in front of the world, and then now they're like, "Hey, we'd like you to come back."
Well, Disney's scrambling right now, man. They need something.
Okay,
They need
so
some good press.
that's right. They need some good press. And after that Netflix documentary, Depp and Heard, it really showed that everyone's on Johnny's side. Don't matter what is the political narrative. Let's look at this quick article and then we'll share all of our thoughts. Disney wants Johnny Depp back for Pirates of the Caribbean 6. In what could be a very smart business decision for Disney, they might be bringing back one of their most beloved and popular characters on the big screen. Daniel Richman is reporting that the head honchos over at Disney is very interested in having Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack Sparrow in a supporting role for the 6th Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Now, would you guys say that in the the last 2 movies, Strange Tides and Dead Man Tell No Tales, would you say that he played a supporting role in those?
I'd say he wasn't like as front and center as he was in the first 3.
Do you think he played a supporting role in the first 3 at all? Or was he a main role?
No, it was a main role, but like so was Will.
Yeah, he was clearly a main role, but it was in contrast with him and Will, him and Elizabeth, and kind of they worked together.
Yeah.
It was a multi-character front.
Yeah, co-stars, not like a... And I wouldn't mind, because he is, old, I wouldn't mind him playing maybe second fiddle, but the issue is who they get as main character is important.
Yeah.
And I don't think young female is gonna do the trick.
They're gonna do.
No.
They did that with Dead Man Tell No Tales. They had that Karina character. It was such a bad move. I mean, On Stranger Tides had such a big fall off from the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean, from the Gore Verbinski trilogy. I'll say that because I at one time with Pirates of the Caribbean and National Treasure, I thought Jerry Bruckheimer was a genius. Turns out Jerry Bruckheimer is kind of a hack. He's kind of a hack producer. And really what made Pirates of the Caribbean great was freaking Gore Verbinski. Strange Tides wasn't that great. Dead Men Tell No Tales was horrible. Was absolutely horrible. And so I don't see, and I'm the biggest fan of the trilogy. I truly am the biggest. I should have pulled my childhood action figures and just sprout them all on the table so everyone could see.
Well, the interesting thing is like Dead Men Tell No Tales is that
the 5th one.
The concepts aren't necessarily terrible.
No, but the trident is not a good move.
That's whatever. But like Will's son, Jack helping Will's son, bad idea.
Barbosa's daughter too. It's like
but everything else poorly executed.
I didn't hate the Salazar plot. It just felt wedged in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the one issue that I have with the last 2 Pirates of the Caribbean and this whole franchise, really. So the very first Pirates of the Caribbean was incredible, written wonderfully, done very well. The next 2 was going to be a hit or miss because you are now creating more story for something that doesn't have source material, right?
Yeah.
And it's based on a Disneyland ride. The first movie was awesome. Is the next movie's going to hit? They introduce the Davy Jones high concept character, keep it really grungy, keep it really dark and dangerous. Don't make it too flowery or childhood adventure. You know what I mean? Still make it dark. Keep that same atmosphere we had in the first movie. And they pulled it off. They did awesome 2-part epic action pirate films for 2 and 3. Then Strange Tides, they started nerfing everybody, introducing new, less interesting stories, bringing in Blackbeard, who is just the cliche of the pirate world. And then the 5th movie, which just absolutely was the worst
Oh
thing.
yeah, bonkers.
I mean, it was really the start of everything bad happening in Disney was that fifth film. You know what I mean?
yeah, there was a lot of stuff coming out around that time where it still managed to make money, but
Well, it was the start of the terrible era of Disney.
Mhm.
What do you guys think? So beyond this whole idea of should Johnny Depp come back after they screwed him, let me read this real quick and then I'll ask the question.
Okay.
So this is surprising news given that Disney had tried to steer far away from Depp in recent years, and the actor himself hasn't shown much interest in returning as Captain Jack Sparrow, especially after the Mouse House original canned him. With all of that aside, do you even think that a sixth movie in today's Disney era is even a good idea? Like creative wise. I know they're banking on making money because it's Pirates and it's Johnny Depp, but is there any hope that we get back to that feeling that Gore Verbinski brought us?
There's not a lot of hope to get back, but if they did, I think it would have to be starting something totally fresh, and it wouldn't be bringing Johnny Depp back.
I sort of agree. I think this move is mostly Disney's kind of at the end of its rope here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really scrambling on what can we make work. And when you're doing that, you start going, well, what worked in the past instead of how do we make something new and fresh and original that people can really love? And number one, I don't think Johnny Depp will come back.
No.
And I don't think that even if he did, that Disney has the storytelling power these days to come up with anything good.
Right. And it kind of follows the trend that we've been talking about on the channel quite a bit, is that directors kind of the whole time, but it was kind of smoke and mirrors for a long time, is directors make or break your story ultimately. And if the studio's too much involved, it's going to break the story. If you have a solid creative director that's worth their salt, then you're going to make a really great story. Look what else Gore Verbinski did. He came off of that and did Rango. What else did he do?
Rango's good.
He hasn't done so much since Rango and Pirates. I think there's one other film he did. But like you can see even from the not very extensive list from Gore Verbinski, there was something there. There's something special to his directing power. And Jerry Bruckheimer wasn't the special one behind it. Disney wasn't the special one behind it. We saw the fact that we didn't like 2 Jack Sparrow pirate films after the first 3 shows that even Johnny Depp on some level is not the magic behind the story.
Yeah. It's not just pirate theme and Johnny Depp that were selling these movies. They were thrilling. They were, they could be scary. They could be fun. There was a lot to the original 3.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was fun to watch. It was enjoyable.
I'm recently seeing YouTube videos pop up that says when your director's overqualified, and Gore Verbinski's the hot topic of a lot of the. I think Gore Verbinski's just now getting his flowers for films he did a long time ago. It's kind of nuts.
People looked at him and they weren't these masterpiece films. They were Disney adventure movies.
But a fresh, interesting take on Disney adventures, you know?
Yeah, and now people are looking at them and being like, these movies were filmed really well. There was a lot of effort that went into not only to the CGI, making like Davy Jones one of the greatest
peak CGI,
like CGI creatures ever, but also Stellan Skarsgård, in fully in. Like
Davy Jones crew garb.
I saw an article saying that he walked around set in full makeup and other people had dots on their face and stuff, and he was just like, dedicated to the practical effects.
Absolutely.
I mean, even the first movie with the cursed pirates were really good.
Yeah,
that was groundbreaking animation with the turning the motion capture into skeleton figures.
Yeah,
and what an amazing story they put together with Aztec Gold Curse, and I think you're right, Wyatt. I think back in the day when they were being released, we were a bit spoiled, And
Yeah.
now we're looking back and being like, we just want this back, man.
Mhm.
Just give us this back.
Right.
Where's that magic that we took for granted back in 2009? I want that
Mhm.
back. If you guys want to consider supporting us here on the channel, you can either go to Patreon, links in the description,
Mhm.
or join the memberships here on the YouTube channel. You get all kinds of cool perks. It's only $3.99 a month, and as we have recently started saying, you can get your coffee and a membership because it's that cheap. You don't have to skip out on a coffee for one of your days. Thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you guys next time.